and welcome to the channel. And today's video is just going to be a quick video on some quick fixes, you could say, for these figures from the McFarlane DC Multiverse line. So we have on the left the Nightfall Catwoman. In the middle we have the Arkham, what is it, Arkham City? I'm not exactly sure which game, but from the Arkham series, the video game, the Catwoman. And on the right, we have the Three Jokers Batgirl. So all of these figures have certain details that need to be addressed. Well, not need to, but if you want them to look better, there are some details that could be addressed on them. Let's start in the middle with the Arkham City. I'm just gonna keep calling Arkham City Batgirl. I'm sorry, Arkham City Catwoman. Anyway, so the thing with her was her proportions. I'm just gonna put these ladies off to the side for just a second so that the camera can focus. So the thing about Catwoman here was her proportions for her legs. She had super long legs that I have, well, most people have done the same fix, right? Which is to cut off at the bottom of the boot, right? To make her leg, to make her shins in proportion with the rest of the figure. I'm just gonna show you how much that I cut off so you can see in the detail of her boots. Right, yeah, let me get something to point. So you can see how on the boot she's got these laces that go across, not these in the necks, but the ones that are a flat line, right? So I cut off basically at the bottom of this line of this lace. There were two underneath, so basically one like this and one like this, right? So I basically cut off, as you can see, right underneath the second lace that goes across. So which is basically like I don't know, it was like a big hefty chunk. I want to say like a quarter of an inch or so. So that's how much you need to cut off. Basically, you can still see the outline of that lace. So it's basically two laces that go across from the bottom where the ankle plugs in. You want to cut off at the bottom of the second lace that's in that area, which, like I said, is like basically this length, right? So like I said, it's about a quarter of an inch, maybe a little less, but that's enough to make a difference in the figure. I then, using a Dremel, I dremeled in on the inside to get the ankle plug to go all the way in, and also on a curve at the bottom of the plastic to have the ankle peg seep in just enough so where you can't see like a straight cut. Right, so using a Dremel tool and a round ball, whatever you want to call it, bit, I made a curved underneath and plugged in the ankle, and now this is how the figure looks. So like I said, if you put her next to another of the female figures, let's talk about Batgirl, she's in the same proportion with her, right? Now the issue with Batgirl, so you notice she's in proportion with that Catwoman, right? So many are saying the same issue with this Batgirl, that she's got long legs and that she's out of proportion. That's not exactly true. What I'm planning on doing with her is, first I took a picture of the figure, straight up, standing straight up, and did some measurements in Photoshop just to see how high she was in proportions. Basically, all superhero type proportions are 8 heads or 8.5 heads, right? 8.5 for the males and between 7.5 and 8 for female figures. And that's basically her proportions. She came out to 8 heads. So her proportions aren't exactly wrong. The issue with this figure is that they gave her the knee joint too high up in her thigh. So this part right here, right, the joint for the knee should have been a little bit low right here where it's actually cut. This is where the peg should have been, right here. So basically what she should have been doing is bend right here at this joint, and then this joint here would have been her knee, and then she would have bent at the top of her calf. That would have allowed her for her proportions to be correct, because if you check now, let me get this stand off. If you bend her knee right now, the back of her foot goes all the way, almost kicking her top of her middle of her back, when the heel should actually be at around her butt. So what many people have done is basically the same fix as with the Catwoman. They cut off at the ankle a big chunk and made the fix so that the back of her foot would be around this height right here, which is correct. But now her shin is out of proportion because it's bent at a way where the thigh is now too short. I don't know if I'm explaining myself with the rest of the body. So proportionally, this is correct right here. The length of her thigh, this is correct. This is incorrect. Okay. They made the joint at the wrong spot. So if they were to make the cut here and bend her lower leg in this spot right here, she would have been in proportion. So what I'm planning on doing, I'm not gonna do a double joint and all of that. No. I'm just gonna keep her with a single jointed leg. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to glue the top of her knee right here, and using some putty, I'm going to cover up this area right here to make it all seamless and make it a single jointed knee. And what I've already done on this leg over here, you're gonna see on the back, you can see I already dug out a little bit more underneath right here at the back of her knee. I already dug out a slightly deeper trench at the back here and cut into the knee joint here, right? As opposed to, you can see how the knee joint is right now. I cut in deeper. There's still all of this plastic right here in front, so there's no chance of breakage or anything like that. I could probably go still even deeper, but that's not the point. The point is I wanted to get her leg to bend more at a 90 degrees, because right now this is how she bends right now with the fix, and this is how she bends without the fix. So you can see normally she wouldn't bend at the 90 degrees, but with the added cuts that I did, she gets the full 90-degree bend at the knee, which is more than enough for my purposes. You know, I'm not gonna pose the figure in crazy poses. She's not like Batman that does the crouching poses at the on top of a gargoyles and all of that. I'm gonna just have her pose, you know, something like this, you know, straight up, looking pretty on my shelf. So I don't need her to have a double jointed knee. So I'm gonna make this fix, cover this area up, to have it all smooth. Also, another thing that I fixed, and again, that's done on most McFarlane figures, the customizers that most customizers do, is fix the ab crunch. So now she's got a deeper bend because she's got a huge bend at the going backwards, but forward she could not bend that much. So I just did the fix where let me see, it was easy to pop off. There we go. I just dug a bit of a trench there. Alright. I didn't go too crazy, just enough to have the stem be able to fit and be able to go, you know, a little further front. That's it. That's all McFarlane needed. That's all McFarlane needs to do on these figures. There we go. Just dig, make those areas a little more, take a little more less material, take a little more material so that they can bend, have that forward bend up front. I'll pose it later. And finally, Catwoman, Nightfall Catwoman. She doesn't not need a lot of work. Her proportions are, you know, fine, you could say. It's more of a personal thing. The backside. Her diaper, I cut. You can see a black line there underneath, across. The diaper. I cut into it to make the cut higher, because how it was normally, the diaper hung at around here, all the way, and it covered her butt cheek all the way down here. So when every time you bent her leg, it looked like she had a saggy butt, because all of that extra material would bend and flex in this area right here. So it would look like she had, you know, a saggy butt instead of like a firm, fit looking backside, right? There's no fix for this, aside from, like, you know, adding material that would make the V less well, a steep cut. You would need to add some material to go across like this, right? That's the only thing that they did wrong with this crotch piece. They just took off too much material here. If they had a lower cut, it would have been fine. But anyway, that's for this. And of course, I still have to repaint underneath, because this is black plastic. So I'm just gonna have to match the purple. And even if I don't match it 100%, that's fine, because it's not gonna be that visible if I don't match it 100%. It's not something that's gonna stand out too much. So yeah, I don't think, no, I haven't done the, here you can see here on this one how she doesn't bend too much forward, her ab crunch. That's something that was the issue with the Batgirl, so I'm gonna have to do the same thing on this one. Sorry, just gonna pick her up, picking up her stand here. So that's it for this video. Again, just some quick tips if you want to do some fixes. Again, for the Batgirl, you can do basically the same thing as done this Catwoman. You can chop off at the bottom of her ankle, or you can do what I'm gonna do and just keep it as is, and just eliminate the double joint at the knee. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.